opened Photoshop. So I would like you to open your Photoshop wherever you are watching these tutorials from. Then you move with me. Okay, so I have opened Photoshop and I have the new document dialog box open on the main interface of the Photoshop. So I'm going to close it, start all over again, then you can follow me. Okay, so sorry. When you open Photoshop for the first time, as I said in the previous lesson, you see this interface. Now this is Photoshop CC 2022, Adobe Photoshop CC 2022. We have the CS, the CS6, CS5, and that series, that version is there. But the one I'm taking you through today, or in this lesson, is Adobe Photoshop CC 2022. Alright, so the interface is here. It depends on the version you are using. If the version you are using is different from my version, the interface might be slightly different from each other. And notwithstanding that, if you are using lower version, if you are using 2023 has come, Adobe Photoshop 2023 has come. So if you are using 2021, 2022, 2019, 2015, the interface will be different from what you see here. Okay, so I took you through in this in our previous lesson, so I'm not going to talk much about it. Now we are going to go straight to creating a new file. I did it in the previous lesson, so let's go. Creation of new document. You can click on the new file here or go to the file menu, then you click new. Any of them will work, so note that. So let's go, and after clicking on it, it will give you the new document dialog box. The new document dialog box, and beneath the title bar, in the previous lesson I talked about title bar. You see that there is at the right side of the title bar, you see the close button. If you click on it, it will close. There's a close button. If you click, then go back. If you click on it, it will close. And beneath the title bar of the dialog box, we have the menu bar. So we have sub menu, or other version or other books will say tabs. They will say tabs. So each tab that you click on it has information or commands under it. So we have the recent tab or the recent menu, and we have the saved, we have the photo, we have the print, we have the art and illustration, we have the web, we have the mobile, film, and video. Okay, so now we are going to go to photo, right? Okay, we are not working on pictures now. I will teach you retouching and other stuff, how to retouch a picture, how to heal pictures and those stuff. So when I'm taking you through that lesson, I'll talk much about this tab called photo. Alright, so let's go to the print tab or the print menu. So we come here, you see the preset here. The preset, we have the letter, we have the legal, we have the tabloid, we have the A4, and beneath it we have view all presets. So when you click on the view all preset, you see that a lot of different sizes have been given to you. So you can choose from these sizes. So assuming I want to design a book, for instance, let me use this book for example. I want to design this book and I want to get exact measurement of this book. I will take a ruler, then I will measure the height of the book and the width of the book. After measuring it, then I come here and I enter in the measurement. So when you come here, you see that at the right side of the preset, you see the preset details. That is where you give the name. You give the name of the document. So the name you want to give to the document, maybe lesson 02. That's the name of the document we are going to create. And the document is the same as file. That's the name of the file or the document you are going to. And we have the unit measurement. So the unit measurement, some people work in pixels, others work in inches, others work in centimeters, millimeters, point, and picas or picas. But you know the unit you have specialized in. So the one that you prefer, then you choose. But yeah, for the purpose of these studies, we are going to choose inches. Let's go for inches. Yeah, let's go for inches. Okay, so I'll click on the inches, then it will give me. You see that I have selected B5 here. B5 here. We have the A4. So when I click on the A4, you see it has changed. Everything has changed. It has gone back to millimeters. You can click on the spin arrow here. Then I go back to inches. So you see that the A4 size, the width from left to right, A4, the width from left to right is 8.268 inches, and the height of A4 paper, the normal A4 paper we use in our various offices, is 11.693 inches. And we call something orientation. The orientation. The orientation is how you want the document to be, either in a landscape or portrait. You want the document to stand still, stand erected, or you want the document to lie down. So when the document is standing and the height is longer than the width, we call it portrait. Note this: when the document is standing and the height is longer than the width, we call it portrait. And when the document is sitting or lying and the width is longer than the height, we call it landscape. So when you hover the mouse over it, I don't think they gave it a tooltip, but the icons here, you see this one is having a longer height, and this one is having a longer width. So this one is a portrait and this one is a landscape. So when the photographers talk about portrait, they're talking about a style of picture they take. But when you are creating a new document, we call it portrait. The portrait is the orientation of the document or the workspace you are going to use, or the file you are going to use, the orientation. So now with this tutorial, the orientation you're going to choose is portrait. Okay, and we have the artboard here. I'll come back to talk about that. All right, and we have the resolution. Resolution. Every work you work on has resolution. Now, the higher the resolution, the higher the quality or the pixels. The lower the resolution, the lower the quality or the pixels. So just have that in mind. And this is the measurement of the, or the unit of the resolution. You can work in pixels or centimeters. When I change it to pixels or centimeters, you see that it has changed the figure here. So this one is equivalent when you come back to pixels and inches. There are 300 inches of pixels, and if you go to pixels or centimeters, we have 118.11 pixels or centimeters. But usually I work in pixels and inches. Alright, so this one you can increase it to 500. But note, if you increase it to 500, then you should make sure that your machine has a higher speed, because the higher the resolution figures, the higher the quality of the document you are working on, and the higher it will take more processor and memory. So note that, especially when you are working on a banner or billboard and those stuffs, you need to lower the resolution so that your machine doesn't freeze. Okay, so the purpose of this lesson, you're going to choose or maintain the 300 resolution, and you have the color mode. The color mode, we have the RGB. If you click on the spin arrow, you see we have different color mode. We have the bitmap, we have the grayscale, we have the RGB color, we have the CMYK, we have the lab colors. Let me quickly take you through so that you understand every bit of it. Now we have the bitmap there. The bitmap is usually some of the document that we use for website, the tiny like creation of icons for softwares and other stuffs, and I'm not going to delve deep into it, but briefly that's how it is. And we have, of course, the next one is grayscale. The grayscale, the grayscale is black and white. If you hear the word gray, we are referring to black. So this is black and white document. If you select it, you choose black and white document. So you see that they are asking you, are you going to choose white or black, or how big are they? So we are not going to choose that, but I'm just explaining to you. Okay, so we have the RGB. The RGB is red, green, blue color. Red, green, blue color. Most people that work, especially work on pictures and documents for digital printing, most of them use the RGB. Yes, most of the works that are being printed on digital printers or with digital printers, they use the RGB, right? The RGB is it represents R represent the red, and the G represent the green, and the B represent the blue. So have it in mind, if you are working digitally, if you the Word document you are working on, you are going to print it digitally, or you're going to share it on social media, most of the times you have to use the RGB. And basically, most of the times, default documents that are being created come with the RGB. But we have CMYK. The CMYK color is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Why cyan, magenta, and yellow, and black? We call something offset printing. Offset printing. Offset printing, we have the offset printers, and we have the digital printers. The digital printers most of the times use the RGB, as I said earlier, but the offset printers use CMYK because some of the machines are called, and they print one color at a time. Some of them print two colors. Some of them are Speedmaster. They print 5 colors. They print 4 colors. So the printing press specifically, they use the CMYK for their works. So if you give them a work to work on, or if you give them a document to work on, and they are going to print the final product with the offset printers, they will convert from the RGB to the CMYK. And we have the lab colors. I'm not going to talk much about that. And so when you are done, you come to the bit. You have the 8-bit, you have the 16-bit, you have the 32-bit. Okay, so the higher you choose, the higher the document quality will go high, and it also take a lot of your memory. Okay, so that is just by the way. I will not, but usually leave it at the default, the 8-bit. So we are going to leave it there. And you have the background content. The background content. Now, in the previous version, you were not seeing this, but now they have upgraded it. So the background version, you can just click on the spin arrow here, then it will give you a drop-down menu. We have the white, we have the black, we have the background color, we have the transparent, we have the custom. Now let me take you through it. If you choose the white, you see there's some small box here, and if you choose white, that means the document you are going to create is going to have a white background. The document you are going to create is going to have a white background. And if you choose black, that means the document you're going to create is going to have a black background, default black background. If you go back there and you choose background color, that means you see that it has changed to white. That means the document, I'll talk about the toolbar. The document, there is the color panel there. There we have the front color and the background color. That means that background color is having a color of white. If it is having a color of pink, yellow, or whatever color, it will show here. But because you have not yet created any unique document, the default color is there, that is white. Okay, so you go back there, you go to transparency. You see that nothing is here. Transparency, this means that when you create a document, you will not see any background. The background will be transparent. Okay, that's fine. Now we go to the custom. The custom will give you a color picker panel. Let me see that the color picker or new document background color. Here you can choose the color that you want. Okay, I will talk more about colors, but you can just quickly review through. You can select any of these. When you select it, the color changes. Then you just choose the one you want, to be the background. So let's say we want this color to be the background. We select it, and the hue, the saturation, the blue, the red, and the green, and the black. All of them have an iota of them in the color we have selected. And you see this is the color number. Okay, I will talk more about color, so you don't worry. Okay, and this is the CMYK, so the cyan. The cyan, we have the 27% of cyan. The cyan represents the blue. So we have the 27% of cyan. Okay, I'm not talking about color, so don't be confused. I'm just going to click on OK so that we can move on later in our next lesson, or when you get to color, I will talk more about all these things so that you understand it. So I'm clicking on OK. So you see that after clicking on OK, that color we chose there has appeared here. Okay, so we have the document profile. We have the advanced here. You can just close it. Let me put this one here. So you can just Ignore the advanced, but if you want to explore, you can click on the spin arrow here and to give you the color profile. So the working gray dot, you have different color profiles. You can just choose the one that you want. We have the gray, gamma 2.2, gamma 1.8 dot. Each and every one of the profile has its unique colors that will give to you. And you have the pixel aspect ratio. We have the square pixel. That is what we are going to use in this particular work. But in other works, we are going to change it like something like maybe we are working on a video or something. So we are going to go through all these things. But with the document we are creating, we are going to choose the square pixels. Okay, now when you are done with everything and you want to go, you can just click on the create. But if you don't want and you want to ignore, you can click on close and close it. But I left something in. Let me go back and teach you. Okay, let's assume that this is the size we want. The size we want. And this is the measurement. Oh, I choose grayscale here. Let me choose RGB. I want RGB. That is red, green, blue. Sorry about that. Okay, so now I want us to save this setting so that when we come back, we can find it and choose it. So I'll click here, this icon here, I'll click on it. It's asking me to save document preset, and it's asking me to give it a name. So let me say A4. The document we chose is A4, and the background A4. Let me say pink background file. Okay, so now I've given it a name. I'll save it here. If you come to, you see that it has saved it in the saved tab. Previously we did not see anything here, but right now that I have saved lesson 2, so it has saved the preset here. Okay, so if I go to create, it will create a document for me. You see the background we chose. The background is showing here. Let me put this one here. You see that it's here. Have you seen it? Okay, so now you see this is the background. Let's go to file menu and go to new. You see the document, you see the recent. That means the one we just created has also been added to recent. So recent items, your recent items are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the one we saved and gave it a name, A4 pink background file, has been saved here. And we have this one too. So you can keep on creating. Now let's create another one, inches, and have it 10 inches width by 10 inches height. Let's give it a background color of let's go to transparent and choose different background color. Okay, and great. So you see now if you go back to the file menu and go to new, you see that the recent, it has come to custom, but when it comes to save, it's not there because I did not save it. So note the difference. I made a custom of 10 inches by 10 inches square, and I created a document that is here. So you see that the document is square, but it did not save because I did not click here to save it. So note the difference. All right, let me close it. So now we have two document here, two document here, two document here. I'm going to add one to it, but this time I'm not going to create it. I'm going to open a document. I will talk more about opening of a document. So let me go to open a document. So let me say I'm artist lady. She's pretty and she's single, so you can just follow her on social media and get the number if you're interested. Okay, this just by the way, I'm using this for my tutorial purpose. No strings attached. Okay, so now we have 3 documents here in the Photoshop workspace. So all these parts are workspace. Okay. So if you want to zoom out, you come to the view menu, then you come to zoom out, you come to zoom out. If you want to zoom in, the same place, zoom in. zoom in, zoom in, zoom out. Okay, sorry, zoom in. And the shortcut is you press and hold the control on the keyboard, then you press the plus or the equal sign. It will increase it. So that is being increased. And if you press the press and hold the control and press the minus, it will zoom out. It will zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. Okay, I will talk more about zoom, but this just by the way, I just want to do something. That is why I taught you. If you press the control, oh, it will zoom to fit the screen. It will zoom to fit the screen. Okay, so now let's do something here. I talked about the interface and I didn't finish in the previous lesson. So now we have talked about creation of new document, and I'm going to use the rest of the time to talk about the remaining of the interface. Now we have the three documents here. This one is pink and this one is kind of bluish something something, and we have this one. Okay, so now we come to Windows menu, then we come to arrange. So you see that you see a lot of options here, a lot of options here. So you see the option here. Now the first option is tile or vertically, tile or vertically, and we have the second one, tile or horizontally, and we have the two up horizontal, we have the two up vertical, we have the three up horizontal, we have the three up vertical, we have the three up stacked, and we have the four up. The reason why they are faded is that we have the 4 up and the 6 up. The reason why they are faded is that the document we have opened now are not up to 4 and they are not up to 6. And we have the consolidate all tabs, all two tabs. Now we are going to go through one after the other. But for the purpose of the 4 up and the 6 up, I'm going to add additional 3 documents so that there will be 6 documents, 6 different documents. But before then, let's try these options here. So in this lesson, we are going to talk more about the arrange of the document or the arrangement of the document. So follow me carefully, you would understand. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Okay, so now we have the tile or vertically. So these 3 documents have been tiled. So in the previous view or perspective that we were looking at, you were not able to look at all the documents at a go unless you click on the tab. But now we have been able to what? View all the documents vertically at the same time. So I can look at this one at the same time, look at this one at the same time, look at this one simultaneously. Let's go back to the window menu, go to arrange and go to tile or horizontally. So you see how it is. You see that's giving you a vertical scroll bar here because the document is long. You scroll up and down, horizontal scroll bar left and right. Have you seen it? The same thing applies to the next document, horizontal scroll bar. You scroll down and up, and we have the horizontal here. So sorry, this is the vertical, and this is the horizontal. If you come to the down one, the last document, we have the vertical, so you can scroll up and down, and we have the horizontal. So we have the horizontal, you can scroll left and right. Okay, so let's go back to the window and arrange and 2 up horizontal. So have you seen 2 up horizontal? So it has rearranged the document. So 2 up horizontal, that means it's going to show only 2 documents and the rest will be on different tabs. So if I want to see the last one that is having the blue, I click on this, then the blue will show. If I click on this, this one will show. If I click on this, so this one has become the master because that's the first document. So I can flip through these 2 here. So 2 up. So these 2 are up. I hope you get it. And then the last one is here. So 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. Okay, let's go back and see the next option there. We have the 2 up vertical. So this is a 2 up vertical. So this is a vertical. So this is a, so you can flip through. So this is the vertical version of the other option. Okay, so I understand. Let's go back and arrange. Go to 3 up horizontal. I think we have done this. Okay, so let me add more document to it, then we see how they will look like. I'll go to file menu, go to open, then let me say, let me add this one. Document is loading. Okay, it's JPEG file. Camera raw is raw, so let me open it. It's raw. That is why it gave me the camera raw pop-up box. Okay, so that document has also been opened. So it's we chose this one. That is 3 up horizontal. So that means 3 documents can show up here at the goal. Let me add one to it. Let me add one to it. Let me add one to it. Let me choose this one. Okay, this one is not a raw file. Okay, this is just JPEG. This one is raw. Okay, that's fine. So can have one here. Let me add one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one is 3, 4, 5. Let me add one so that to be 6. Okay, so let me add this one. Now we have 6 documents. So you see, the 4 is arranged here, and the 2 are here. So you can just choose the one you prefer to work on. You say we were the stack. So some of the documents are here. So these are stuck here. So you can flip through, You can choose however you want your workspace to be. That one is up to you, but you have to know how it works. Then you choose the one that you prefer. Okay, so let me go back to arrange and go to 4 up. So the 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest will be here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see how it is. It's very simple. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. You have the 6 up. So that the 6 app will arrange all the 6 documents. So you can see this one here. Oh, sorry. I'll teach you about how to drag and unlock a document. You have not gotten there, so I have to quickly click cancel before it distracts this list. So now we have this one. I hope you get it. So when you are done going through all these things and those stuff, and you want to let them go back to default, you come back to the window menu, go to arrange, then you go to consolidate or to tabs, then they come back on the tab. So now you have to flip through one after the other before you can see the documents. So one, so you have to choose the arrangement that you want to work in. Okay, so now we have done it. Let's go to cascade has faded. Let's go to tile. You see the tile, that's tile all the 6 here. You can go to float in window. You see that the first one is floating, so you can move them wherever you want. I hope you understand. So you can maximize it, you can restore down, you can minimize it, you can float this one as well. Float, this one too is floating. You can minimize it. You can do a whole lot of things and you see, you can maximize it. You can even close it from here, but I'm not closing it. I just want to minimize all and show you something. Okay, so float. So they are floating. See that it is reducing in number. So floating window, minimize. Floating all, then I'll minimize all. Hey, why are my documents? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? They are missing. And I've messed up my workspace. I taught this one in the previous lesson. So some people, when you go to their Photoshop workspace, this is how they have made their workspace. You may think they are joking, but they will do a lot of things with it. That's how they like it. So when they open a document, that is how they want it to be. So I've told you how to reset it. Come here, then you reset it, come back. So let's go to window, arrange, cascade. Oh, nothing happened. Sorry, nothing happened. float all windows. Okay, so now let's bring out, we are bringing this lesson to an end. Let's bring out our works. Just hover your mouse here, click on it to come, click on it to come, click on it, click on it. All the works minimized, you can see them here. Click here, let's go to cascade. The cascade has brought all of them together. So you see, okay, so let's go to match zoom. Okay, so a whole lot of things, mark location. You can just match, or you can just play with it. So let me just go back to consolidate alt tabs. All right, so this is for today. In let's end here and meet in our next lesson. Our next lesson, I will talk about so many things before we start. We start really designing and delving deep into some of the technical things in the Photoshop. So thank you for staying with me till the end of this lesson. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The channel is Elberto TV. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave your comment and your suggestion. Thank you for staying tuned to this channel. We'll meet again. Bye bye.